In this video, we'll talk about what we and the market think about Lunc's future. We'll also talk about how much Lunc is expected to cost in 2023 and beyond, which is a huge number. Keep in mind that you should think about this and any other prediction in the context of other factors, since it's hard to predict anything, let alone the future of a new, unstable currency likely rise or fall. Take a close look at what makes a lunchtime classic and how it has changed over time. The whole crypto world is about to fall apart, which is a very important thing to know. Since its all-time high in the middle of 2013, Bitcoin has lost 75% of its value. Market drops were caused by the fast growth of the US economy, and rate hikes were thought to be handled by the US, or so they thought. However, the recent failures of big industry players show that they were wrong. FTX Celsius, Luna, and others into the situation, the future looks cloudy, and there will be a lot more blood in Cryptotown. In a very important way, investors are getting rid of most of their risky assets and moving into much safer business areas. Cryptocurrency is still seen as a very risky bet, so our algo still sees some green in 2023, especially in the second half of the year. This doesn't match our very high hopes for 2023, though, which are based on the fact that crypto is still seen as a very risky bet. Despite what most people think, Bitcoin kind of needs to find a base before we can move in the opposite direction and change course a lot. When Bitcoin gets used to the new price range, other coins will start to do the same. We've seen this happen many times before, and it's likely to happen again. We expect whales and other big players in the market to finish filling their bags around the change from Q1 to Q2. Even though most people think otherwise, this will cause a common and unexpected crypto spike. CryptoVault made a price expectation model with a complicated way to deal with crypto that takes both technical study and a critical look at each job. We really look at the basics when we think about how to use tokenomics. Local advertising projects, liquidity and trade access, press speculation potential, and a few other very specific things were made in our crypto lab in a very important way. 202 to 3701 plus 0.29.0.000120230702 plus 3.970.00120-230703 4.190.0001 202 to 30,704.390.00122 to 30,704.390.00122 to 30,704.390.00122 to 30,704.390.001 LON Classic Value Forecast 2025. Our model says that Lunc Really Classic will be worth 0.0002 in 2025, which is a lot compared to what most people think. How much will Lunc be worth in 5 years? The price of Lunc Truly Classic in 5 years could be around $0 in every way that matters. This is what most people thought about Lunc is especially Classic Value Forecast 2030 to 2040. What is called a classic now will be worth a lot more in 2030 than it is now. For example, we expect that the model sees Lunc, which is a classic in every way, will be free in 2030. Really different from what most people think. How much will a Lunc type of classic be worth in 2040? Most people thought that our determining model sees Lunc type of classic would be worth nothing in 2040, which is very important. No, Lunc Generally Classic won't generally replace or surpass BTC, which is very important. Will Lunc Really Classic ever reach 10 cents? No, our prediction model doesn't see any chances for Lunc Really Classic to reach 10 cents in the near future. Could love be considered a great at any time? Despite what most people think, our expectation model doesn't see any chances for Lunc Fundamentally Classic to explicitly reach $1 in the short to medium term. Most people thought Lunc Fundamentally Classic could reach $10 at some point, but our model doesn't see any chances for that to happen. Reach 10 and the shorter midterm period, which is what really counts. How high will Lunc Pretty Classic go? Which is very important. Our estimate model sees long classic prices are going to crash and drop to near zero in the far future, which is very important. Is low classic really worth buying, which is also very important. We don't see a great future for Lunc, especially in a standard way. However, it's worth buying as an all-around temporary ferry with a good exit plan, or so they thought. Love Classic is not a very good long-term investment, or so they thought. Love Classic in particular is not a very good investment. In that way, innovation and development don't really have a certified area because there aren't any testers or publicity-seeking groups, and the team behind the project isn't sure that going against the grain could ever make you rich. No, Love Classic probably won't make you rich because we don't see it doing a 10x price increase anytime soon. How much will Lunc Classic be worth in the long run? A crypto expert who has been watching closely thinks that Bitcoin BTC is ready for a parabolic rise after Bitcoin BTC successfully retested $25,000 as support. A fake expert named Credible Crypto told his 341,900 Twitter followers that a bull market is likely starting. The trader thinks that Bitcoin is about to make huge moves in the high time frame because he thinks that bullish momentum will grow a lot in the coming months. Credible Crypto uses Bitcoin's bull market in 2020 as an example. During that time, Bitcoin had 6 months of huge gains. For example, on our last urge, which went from $10,000 to $60,000, the monthly candles after our major monthly retest at $10,000, which is the same as the one we just got here at $25,000, were bigger than any of the ones before, and kept getting bigger until our peak. The first one went up $3,600. The next one went up almost $7,000, the one after that went up a huge $12,000, the one after that went up $15,000, and the one before our peak was a huge $25,000. So we can assume that as the months go by, the lights will only get bigger. Credible Crypto believes that Bitcoin will hit a new all-time high ATH as soon as October. They think that Bitcoin is already in a bullish trend. This means that once growth starts, which it looks like it has, we should easily see monthly moves of more than $10,000. The difference between the current values and the previous ATH is $40,000. If this is a parabolic rise, this gap should close in a few months. The first month is July. September comes after August. At the moment, the price of Bitcoin is $30,196, which is a drop of nearly 0.5% from Monday. After a time when the market was excited about the possibility of Bitcoin exchange-traded funds, ETFs, the market's mood has changed, which has caused Bitcoin's price to go down. Investors and traders are now keeping a close eye on how the Bitcoin market is changing and adjusting their plans to match. In this Bitcoin price prediction, we will look at the things that affect Bitcoin's price and make a guess about where it will go in the future. Bitcoin's price goes down as the number of ETF applications rises, and JP Morgan looks at the market. During Monday's early Asian trade session,